It's Saturday morning. At least it is here. It's Saturday afternoon for some of you, and Saturday night for others. But welcome everybody from around the world. Today we're going to continue with our reading of Enochian Vision Magic. And so we can get our long weekend, at least in the United States. We've got a 3-day weekend ahead of us, I believe. But the last year has seemed like a 365-day weekend. Be that as it may, I hope you are enjoying our time together as much as I am. And we're not quite halfway through this book here. We're on chapter 12. And chapter 12 is the last chapter in book 2, which is called Heptarchia Magica. Tomorrow we're going to start book 3, Liber Loagaath and the Angelic Alphabet. So I hope you're looking forward to that for Sunday school tomorrow. Today's chapter is rather short, but it's very important. It's entitled, Do I Need All This Stuff? And the epigram is from the angel Il, and remember where Il is. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find Il. There we go. See, IL. There. Excuse me. Right there in the arms. Never since the beginning of the world was this secret delivered, nor this holy mystery set upon before the weaklings of this world. That was the operation for April 29th, 1583. The question I'm sure many of you are asking at this point is, do I need all this stuff? During the classes that I conducted in our home in 2005 and 2006 with experienced magicians, and subsequent day-long workshops I've conducted around the country with people having little or no prior magical experience, it has become abundantly clear to me that the magical objects and furniture Dee and Kelley received during the Heptarchia periods, that's the ring, the holy table, the lamen, the ensigns of creation, and the sigillum deumeth, can and should be formally employed in order to create the specific environment of consciousness conducive to the practice of Enochian vision magic. Furthermore, it has been my observation that regular and repeated activation of this magical temple by means of the little ritual outlined in Chapter 1 and laid out more fully in Appendix 1 can attune the magician to this uniquely ordered universe and serve to progressively strengthen and enhance his or her visionary capabilities. Most exciting for me was the discovery that once the magician is prepared and the temple activated, the angelic forces, especially the good angels resident in the holy table, lamen, ensigns of creation, and the planetary angels resident in the sigillum, can be individually called forth or visited by means of classic evocation techniques or even informal extemporaneous prayers and conjurations. In other words, I believe that even if he or she never went on to practice Enochian magic per se, a resourceful magician willing to experiment and armed with a proper understanding of the tools and formula of the heptarchic periods would be already prepared to engage in angelic vision magic of a high order. This is new territory for us all. But it holds much promise, for it entails the possibility of contacting the same angelic forces that engage Dee and Kelley throughout most of their day-to-day actions. Obviously, dealing with these angelic forces offers an alluring challenge for today's more intrepid magicians, who, when frustrated by gaps and perplexities in the original material, will not be afraid to go straight to the communicating angels for guidance and clarification on how all this should operate. Indeed, I expect to see in the years to come exciting and viable magical systems develop as the result of the magical efforts of gifted practitioners who dare to make such angelic contact. But do you need all this stuff? My answer is this. In order to do this particular variety of magic, you need all this stuff inside you. That's where the real magic takes place. But until such time as you have internalized all this, even in the most cursory and general manner, it is necessary to have some outward, visible material representation of the magical concepts and forces you're dealing with. I suggest, if you're serious about engaging in this magical art form, then you should at least provide yourself with a ring, a holy table, a lamen, a sigillum diameth, and the 7 ensigns of creation. Make them out of paper if you have to. Copy them straight out of this book if you have to. But have them. Make them real to you. Consecrate them by using them regularly. Use them to create your Enochian magic temple. Now, the sense of art for some magicians is stimulated by replicating as much as humanly possible the tools and procedures as outlined in ancient texts. By doing so, they achieve a level of empowerment that they believe is necessary to execute the work. Personally, my sense of art is quite happy with paper rings and photocopied holy tables. Now, when I traveled, or for years, when I first went to China, I took this bag with me, okay? This plastic bag from the grocery store. It probably had kale in it. And inside it, I had my ring, a paper ring. I didn't even cut out the band part. It's just a paper ring. My laminated lamen. A cork coaster with a photocopy of the Sigillum Dei myth. And for a holy table, it could fit in an envelope. A holy table that I just went down to Staples and made a bunch of photocopies. Actually, I didn't. I printed this out on my home computer in four sections that I taped together. Oh, there we go. Okay. And I've got the the Ensigns of Creation just printed out right on it. Dee and Kelley, the angels told Dee and Kelley they could actually paint the ensigns on the table itself. Okay, so that's my hotel bed Enochian thing. And for a black mirror, my phone. Okay. Let me put this all back here. Sorry for that digression. However, I have over the years been blessed with many talented colleagues who've generously helped me equip my temple so that I might better demonstrate these things to others. Here is a good place as any for me to pause and describe what I believe the source material suggests would transform a clean, uncluttered room into the holy ground of an Enochian Magick temple. The temple. Upon the floor in the center of the room is a square carpet of red silk cloth, large enough to accommodate the holy table and the chair of the scryer. Upon the silken carpet are placed 4 miniatures of the Sigillum Dei myth made of wax. They are covered and protected from the legs of the table by shallow cylindrical boxes. Upon the box-covered sigilli rest the 4 legs of the holy table. The holy table is made of sweet wood, laurel. Upon the holy table, arranged as we've discussed, are the 7 ensigns of creation lettered in the angelic script, and the Sigillum Dei myth made of purified beeswax, 9 inches in diameter and 1.5 inches thick. The holy table and all the objects upon it are covered by a red silk cloth with gold tassels that dangle from the corners. This cloth should match the material and color of the red silk carpet. Upon the covered sigillum, the scrying stone, a crystal ball, or a black mirror is placed. The scryer's chair is placed on the carpet near the table. His or her feet should touch the carpet. The ring and lamen should be near. The magician should ceremonially put them on at the beginning of each session and remove them at the conclusion. Renaissance magicians often wore crowns and white linen robes, and on one occasion, in preparation for a specific working, Dee and Kelley were instructed to wear white linen robes. In an operation that took place on July 13th, 1584, at the very end of the Enochian communications, the Archangel Gabriel told the magicians, "See that your garments be clean." Herein be not rash, nor over hasty. For those that are hasty and rash are loathsomely apparelled, my knock long before they enter. In practical operations conducted by my Monday night class and my Enochian Vision Magic workshops, everyone is shoeless and wears comfortable street clothes. In private sessions, such as the one I described in Chapter 1, I put on a simple black robe. Not only does it carry with it a certain personal magical virtue, but its color does not distract from the images reflected in the black mirror as I scry. And so ends that chapter, and so ends Book 2, Heptarchia Magica. Tomorrow we will pick up with Liber Loa Ga'ath. This is Book 3, and the Angelic Alphabet. So it was a rather short class today, but visit today. But we've got our weekend to get out into. It's a beautiful day in Southern California. It'll be 80 degrees at least before the day's over. I don't wish to rub it in if you're having a very cold and miserable time in the part of the world where you are. But anyway, it's nice and sunny here, and it's sort of boosted my attitude. So until tomorrow and Sunday school, continue to be good to yourself and each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.